I equate myself to like a gemstone of sorts, right? I am $1 billion ruby in a jewelry store, right? You walk into the jewelry store and I'm sitting on the top shelf in an enclosed glass container, a cabinet, locked, secured, all of these things. Let's say somebody walks in and they want to buy the ruby, right? Remember, it's $1 billion, but they come in with $1 million and they say to the jeweler, yo, I want that ruby up there. I want that ruby and I got $1 million. Can I get it? What do you think the jeweler is going to say? The ruby costs $1 billion. The individual walks in with $1 million and says, I want to buy the ruby. I have $1 million. Can I take it home? What is the jeweler going to say? The jeweler is going to say no. The jeweler is going to say no. You don't have enough. You don't have enough. And there is no layaway here. No, you can't touch it. And no, you can't see how heavy it is. No, you can't even be in the vibration of it because you don't have enough. But you can come back when you have $1 billion if it hasn't already been purchased by then. Okay? Now, let me apply that to myself in this situation. I have the same value energetically, spiritually, as the ruby. Right? And in order to be in my space, there are some energetic and spiritual principles that you have to come to the table with. You have to have a certain level of character, a certain level of morality. To be in my space, it requires like positive energy, good communication, honesty, loyalty, authenticity, transparency, emotional availability. So if you walk into my space and you don't have those things, you come in to the jewelry store with $1 million, then I have to say that's not enough. Because I know my worth. I know my value. Okay? So I understand these things about myself. So that means that any old body doesn't get an opportunity to walk into my space and take residence or discount me because they're attractive or because, $1 million still is a lot of money, or I still have all of these great qualities, right? I have a good job, I have a car, I take care of my children, let's say from a relationship perspective, and I have to be able to say, but that's still not enough, if it's not enough. A lot of times we discount ourselves because we want to be loved or we want to fit in or we want something from another person. One of the reasons that I encourage a lot of people to read The Mastery of Love is because he goes into one section of the book, this is probably halfway through the book, where he talks about your heart being a magical kitchen of love, right? And in this example, he talks about how your heart is self-replenishing. It's self-replenishing. Everything that you need is already inside of you, right? And if you know that and you're giving love to your friends and your family and you're helping people and you're doing all of these things, and then you know how to fill yourself back up, how to get back in touch with yourself, how to connect with your inner child, and all of these things you are adding back into your well of love, right? Your well, your geyser of love, your magical kitchen of love, right? Now let's say somebody comes and knocks on the door and they open up their trench coat. They got a couple teaspoons of love in there for you. And that's what they say. Teaspoons of love in here. And you can have a couple teaspoons of love every day if you just do X, Y, and Z. If you just accept X, Y, and Z behavior. Right? If you don't know that you have a magical kitchen of love, that your heart is self-replenishing, then you're going to accept these 2 teaspoons of love when you don't even have to. You don't have to. And if you know this about yourself, you will not. A lot of times we don't know for ourselves that we are amazing, that we are loved, that we are liked, that we are beautiful, that we are intelligent, that we are extraordinary. So we are waiting on some external validation. So we allow people to come in and discount us. We allow people to come in with that $1 million and take our $1 billion selves off the shelf. You are not a thrift store. You are not a thrift store. You are a high-end boutique. And it ain't no discount rack up in here. But in the process of you developing that strength and standing in your power and understanding, working on the energy of your solar plexus and of your sacral chakra and getting your root chakra balanced out, in the process of you doing that, you have to be doing work to strengthen yourself so that it does not matter who steps into your space, whether it be a romantic interest, a platonic interest, or a business interest. If they do not have enough, you can stay, they gotta go. This is part of the process for me in setting my worth and setting my value. And this changes for me. I keep increasing in value. I continue to increase in value every experience that I have. Every time I raise my vibration, I feel differently about myself, right? People will be like, man, your prices have increased. You damn right my prices have increased because so has my skill. So has my demand, right? And so I know my value. If that's not something that you're interested in, you're not willing to pay the door, choose someone else. Get you a lesson from somewhere else, right? And I mean that, period.